Hey, what's up, y'all? Classic Kev back with another episode. Y'all, honestly, it's probably the most important episode yet because on today's episode, we got a special guest, my boy Zushawn from the ADA Ninjaz. If y'all remember, he was on the show. What was Zushawn? What was that, like a couple months ago?
Yeah, it's been 2 or 3 months. Yeah.
It's been a while, but from what I'm seeing in the Twitter world, the ADA Ninjaz have been making a lot of big moves. So what's going on, man? What's going on in the ADA Ninja world?
Yeah. Thanks for having me on firstly, man. It's good to be back and chatting with you again. A lot's going on. It's been super busy. We've obviously got our season three drop, the Daisuke clan coming up on the 21st of May. So that of course is the focus, but then alongside that, we've also just dropped our sort of white paper version two,
Mm-hmm.
and a whole lot of alpha and information there on what we're doing with the Ninjas token, and then our upcoming game, the Shards of Nineveh. So yeah, it's all going down, man.
No, that's awesome. I actually was watching some of the footage from y'all game, and I gotta say, super, super polished. So is this just gonna be like a mobile only game or
So starting off, it's going to be just a web browser game,
okay?
and the alpha is going to come out within like a month. Uh, and you're basically going to be able to connect your Cardano wallet
Mhm.
and then go in and try out the game, but there won't be any token integration or anything yet. This will just be a means for holders and other people to come in, see what we're building, because
Mhm.
it's the alpha, and then we'll start scaling it up as we've listed out in the white paper. So then the next step will be to bring in the token integration, because once we drop the alpha game, we'll start focusing on the token side of things, releasing that, giving it to NFT holders, all that sort of stuff, and then building the economy and the ecosystem as one.
Ah, I see. So essentially, I'll go onto a browser, I'll connect my Nami wallet into your game, and then in the future, there will be a play to earn aspect of earning the Ninja token.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are going to be two elements. I'll touch on the P to E first. What was really important for us was to make sure that it's not um, pay to win, sorry. Yeah, because you don't want people just spending money to reach to essentially beat everyone else, right?
Mhm.
So finding that balance, of course, you're going to be able to use the Ninjas token down the line to get some sort of upgrades. Maybe you want to get a new skin. Maybe you want access to another game because we're building a bunch of mini games.
Mhm.
Um, and maybe you want a temporary buff within the game. So like it gives you like 2% more attack power,
Ah.
for 3 games and then disappears. So that's where we're looking at like that temporary advantage kind of thing. Um, it's not going to be a buy this weapon and you'll always be the strongest because you've got the best weapon in the game.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah.
Zushan, that's interesting. You bring that up. So it seems to me, when coming to Web3 gaming, that the pay to win model. I don't know who invented that, but that's kind of a newer thing, right? In video games, that's kind of a newer thing, and I've seen it in different games I've played, and I understand, the frustration from the community on why that. So it looks like Web3 is kind of getting away from that a lot. So it is a fine line you're walking between, a cosmetic utility or a small power up, but not something that's gonna, it's just something to enhance the game.
Yeah, precisely. But of course, via playing the game, via winning these mini games, winning the clan battles, you're going to be able to earn Ninja's token as well.
Uh,
Uh, so if you're a casual gamer, you still come in and make a little bit of Ninja's token. If you are you're really heavy into it, you're going to be able to earn more token, right? Um, and then the second element of the game is the B to E, which is the build to earn model that we want to, or we will go down a couple of phases later. And what that essentially is if you're familiar with, like, I think everybody and anybody's familiar with Minecraft and being able to sort of build things there and doing stuff on it, right? So we want people to be able to build. We give you an editor with a limited amount of things and gradually expand on those, and then you can use those to make your own game within our game, because it's a bunch of mini games. So if we have a fighting competition, maybe you create like a ninja racing one, right? And then people who participate in your specific game, that essentially becomes your area to generate revenue, or rather generate Ninjaz tokens. So it's kind of like, let's say you open up a bowling alley, right? And people come in and they go bowling. And what happens at the end of the day? You get a cut from that, right? But this is just in the virtual world. So people will be receiving Ninjaz token if they have this game that they've created.
Oh, so you're incentivizing, your community, because, I noticed that. And again, going back to Web 2, I think back to games that I played a lot, and, one being like a Counter-Strike, different type of Steam based first person shooters, and the mods were always really cool in this game because it was people from the community. A lot of times they did it for free. Made these awesome mods that really enhanced the gameplay. So I'm guessing it's looking like not only, you're going to give give players such as myself a toolkit to build out whatever mini game, no matter how silly it might be, but if the game is popular, they can, in sense, kind of monetize their creation.
Precisely. So we are in the Web3 world. People love creating these mods in these games, right? You want to target, because it's not easy being a crypto blockchain game and then bringing in people from the gaming community, right? So that's our long-term goal. To start off, it's within the Cardano community, branching out to other blockchains, and then eventually trying to give more and more access to outsiders, which is why it's free to play. You don't need to own or hold a Ninja NFT or Ninjaz token to go in and try it out. However, if you want to progress through things, you need a little bit of token. Like if you want to be able to play certain games, you would need a little bit of Ninjaz token in your wallet that, okay, this person's legit and actually has some interest, or you would need an NFT. That's what we're essentially going down. So everyone can try it, it's accessible, but then obviously if you hold a Ninjaz NFT, you have an added perk. If you hold Ninjaz token down the line, that's another added perk. And of course, if you hold a Ninjaz NFT, you're going to be getting free Ninjaz token. So yeah.
No, and that's interesting, because we've seen, for anybody that thinks like, you're building a somewhat kind of an economy in game, and that might be a new concept to some people. But I think back, and I didn't play games like World of Warcraft. I didn't play it a lot, but I do remember that these games did somewhat have many economies in it, where sometimes people would transact real life money for assets in game. So that tells you right there. Or, you see it with Roblox and, Fortnite skins. We see a lot of this. So walk me through, I hold season 1, season 2 NFTs. So I'm going to receive this token. So when I play this game, what's some of the utility that I'm going to be able to use with this token, be able to do with this token?
Yeah. That's a really good point. So one of the things, if you hold season 2, the number of season 2 ninjas that you hold, they give you access over a time period. So let's say every few weeks, to go and claim a loot box within the game. This is, of course, following the alpha. The alpha won't have any of this, But the loot box, let's say you hold 3 as an example, you'll be able to claim 3 loot boxes just by paying the transaction fee, which is nothing, on Cardano, of course. And essentially, you'll get 3 treasure chests, and you'll be able to open them up and get some random items. Now, these items will eventually become NFTs as well. Each and everything that you interact with within the game will be an NFT. So your sword, your helmet, your chest of armor, whatever it is. So if you get doubles and you don't need them, you just sell them off essentially.
So the items you earn, they will have stats. Like if I get, a sword or any type of armor, it will have its own like unique stats. But I understand that. So like, I'll, get the same item and be able to sell it as an NFT on a third party marketplace.
Yeah. So what we will also be doing is down the line again, is NFT Maker are releasing their own marketplace, and we will mirror it into the game. So you'll be able to go to a particular section of the game, see what items are being bought and sold as NFTs within the market related to the Ninjaz game. And you can just go from there and sell your product directly, sell your NFT directly. So we tie that into the game. We don't have our own marketplace, but we mirror the NFT Maker one because, that saves us the time of having to build our own. But because we're working with them on this game in certain aspects as well, it's a win-win. So yeah, you're going to be able to do that. But I guess coming back to what you asked, like what other things can you do with the token? Get access to specific games, be able to, buy potions and buffs and things of that sort. Later on down the line, we're also going to be introducing the Ninja spaces. So we have a whole world map, and if you look at the southern corner, southern edge of it, there's a province there which will be cordoned off essentially, and people will be able to build a social space down the line. Because right now we think that, if you're going down that semi or complete metaverse capability, ours is going to be fairly smaller than usual because it's a game, but then it's got this added element. You can go in there, use your token, buy items, build something up, and then maybe you decide I want to sell some classic Kev merch. So you're doing that through there, you're earning some ninjas. That's essentially the process of how the token will work. But there's more. You can check out the white paper that we've dropped. That's got all the info. But this essentially summarizes it, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I've read through y'all first white paper, so I'm gonna definitely have to check that out. So I guess what I'm still wrapping my head around, when we talk metaverse and we talk, blockchain, Web3 based gaming, I guess what I think even I sometimes have a hard time wrapping around that these games are like metaverses, like you said, it's like a kind of like a mini metaverse. So what type of interaction will I have with other players? Is it like any type of co-op PvP type element to the game?
Yeah, that's a really good point. Look, very honestly, right? If we look at blockchain games at the moment, there are a few that function really well. You've got Axie Infinity, stuff like that. But in terms of what, you look at our trailer, it's like a 3D isometric game you can run around and battle. And considering that we're on the Cardano blockchain, how realistic is it that right away we introduce a PvP, right? Let's go step by step. That's what we always do at ADA Ninjaz. You build up to it. So you've got a bunch of mini games that are single player. However, you can chat to your mates, but you won't be playing with them. you go in and you earn points for your clan, and then your clan wins, so you receive an amount of Ninjaz token, which is then distributed amongst the winning clan's participants.
Wow.
But you will also, starting off, it'll not be as regularly, because what you don't want is a metaverse sort of thing or like an MMORPG kind of game where no one's around. You don't want that, right? You don't want people going into your game and being like, okay, this is a cool game. I spent X amount of ADA buying an NFT or buying, something to get into the game, and no one's here, right? So what am I doing? So we will have clan wars battles, but on a limited scale. So it'll be, once a month, once every 2 weeks, that kind of thing. And that way you can go in and have this full on player versus player clash. And again, you get rewarded for that. You earn Ninjaz token, you rep your clan, that kind of thing. But it's not all the time. Because if it's all the time, then you're just going to see people hanging around there and then doing nothing.
Yeah. And, I'll say, when I'm looking at, just from an investor standpoint, when I'm looking at the broader crypto markets, the volatility, all the craziness right now, I can say this, if you look at just the Cardano ecosystem, very promising, very promising. Some big names have come into the Cardano NFT ecosystem, like Snoop Dogg, Good Charlotte is part of it. And I think it's like what you said, these no fees and awesome projects like this. And now when we're taking that next step to a sort of play to progress, play to earn, I don't know what the kind of buzzword for this Web3 gaming is going to be, but just like, the Web2 has the black eye of the pay to win kind of gaming model. Like this is kind of something new. This is something new that, we're just going to I'd like to see where this is in a year, 2 years from now, but how far away are we from the game release?
So like I said, within a month for the alpha. So you'll be able to go and play the alpha within a month's time. It'll be very basic in that it won't have multiple mini games. It will have the core game. You can try it out. You can go and start earning points and in-game currency to see what the whole thing will look like. Then obviously that is something that we will also show to people when we go out and do the token, private sale, public sale, and the initial game offerings. So this is the product, it exists, our community and everybody's trying it out. So it's not a promise, we've already done something. If you trust in us and if you think that there's an opportunity for you naturally to make money out of this, then come in and, invest in the token. That's the route we're going to go down. And at the same time, via community feedback, we're going to be able to understand, okay, I like this, I don't like this, this works for me, this doesn't work. So that trial and error process.
That's one thing I love, when it comes to Web3, NFTs, crypto gaming, is that flexibility and that true community input, because I think that collectively it'll take time, but as a community, we kind of make stuff better with our collective thoughts when we're working together. Now, let's get back to the token, because will it be in the future, like let's say I earn a bunch of the tokens, will I be able to go on some type of decentralized exchange and exchange the tokens for ADA?
Yeah, absolutely. So we will be doing liquidity pairings as well, and we will get onto dexes.
That's that right there is utility in itself. The in-game utility is great, but I think that's what a lot of people kind of want to see, and a lot of times if they like the game, they don't even, they just use the, what I'm saying? Like they don't feel a need to go change it out. But Zushawn, what about y'all partnerships? Y'all partnered with some big projects, huh?
Yeah, we've done a few collaborations
Mm-hmm.
over the past couple of months. I think since we last spoke, we did a lot of one-for-one NFTs, that kind of thing. We actually released our physical manga, which has an NFT chip on it. So you scan it with your phone and you're able to claim an NFT as well as get the physical manga. There's only 110 of these comics available. I think there are about 30 left now.
Mm-hmm.
So those have features from like mutants, CNFT, mutant NFTs, if you know them,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Cryptoverse Comics, Heist on Alpha. So there's a few projects there that are involved with us. We did a lot of one-for-one NFT collabs with like, oh man, so many projects. Goats. I always butcher this, man, because I never remember. Veggie We did
Uh-huh.
so many. We must have done like 25 of these
Nice.
one-for-one. So that was a lot of fun. I'm just thinking from the top of my head. Yeah, Occult Archives. So Billy Martin from Good Charlotte, his project. Uh, so a whole bunch of stuff there, but we've taken a break on the collabs for May just because we're focused on obviously the token, the game, and then the season 3 drop. I'll also tell you about the token. So you said you hold a bunch of ninjas from season 1 and season 2.
Yeah.
Um, you will be receiving an airdrop for the ninjas token.
Nice.
Um, but we've gamified or we've brought in some game theory, right, for people to make these decisions. There'll be 3 mechanisms. So the first one is a one-off, which is, look, thank you all for supporting us. Here's an airdrop, boom, right? So the second time around, or following that, every few months, you're going to have to go and claim token. So you just pay the transaction fee and you claim token, and you can keep doing that, over an
Mm-hmm.
extended period of time. The third thing is, of course, you can stake your NFT to receive more token. But because we've got 3 collections, how do we make it exciting, right? It can't not be fun. You gotta put something in there that's juicy, essentially. So what you do is you have the season ones. The season ones will get the most airdrop and be able to claim the most. The season 3 will get the least airdrop and be able to claim the least amount. However, when you stake your NFT, they'll get the most staking reward. So all of them will get the rewards. It'll just depend on on which clan you have. And this ties in, like, Kev, like the story element is super important to us as a project. So all of these things tie in with the story. So like I mentioned earlier, season 2, the Atsuko, they're like the underground kind of thieves. So that's why they go and they steal a loot box every month in the game or every few weeks in the game, so they can get a loot box for free. The RMR season 1 are sort of like the bougie elite guardians working with the government, so they get some free token, right? And then the Daisuke, the one that's obviously releasing season 3, they're sort of like the community types, work together. So stake your resources together, earn the most reward. And rarities will also matter. So the rarer your ninjas, the more reward you will get in terms of the ninjas token. So that will be another element within this whole sort of, claiming, staking, airdrop.
Yeah, and from what it looks like, that's something that you guys are pretty far ahead on the whole element of the staking of the NFTs, receiving rewards for staking, and the different type of decisions that we as investors or just fans of the project have to make. The risk reward versus which assets we own to which assets we stake for what we receive. So it's kind of it's really a great thing what y'all doing, the way y'all building out this ecosystem. As always, guys, this is not financial advice. I am a holder of this project, but it is exciting to see them think of stuff that I've never thought of. I never thought of doing it that way, but this is all new. This is so new. It's amazing.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's a lot though. I feel like I've rambled on and just thrown so much information out there. So you feel free to ask me like whatever you want me to break down a little bit more.
Well, I think from my perspective of, I think from the last time we talked, I fell in love, I think, with the idea that you guys were building a physical thing, the manga, that could be brought to life. That right there, that's what initially clicked for me. That said, this is, Marvel's going to be doing this, comic books, everybody's going to be doing this. But you know what? You guys are one of the first ones, at least I've seen, do it. So your team, though, I remember last we talked, there's about 15 people on y'all's team.
Yeah. So look, that's still our core offering, right? We've just expanded as a multimedia business. So we've got our music vertical, we've got our game token side of things, and of course we've got the manga comic. In fact, we are having early conversations with animation studios and production studios at the moment. So if you go onto the white paper, you can see a little bit about what the main storyline for the animated series is going to be. So that's still our core, and that will continue to be our core, right? That's our long-term dream. But you've got to bring that balance in this space between what you're doing in the long term and what you're giving right away as a reward and utility. So that's where, this element comes in on the gaming token front.
Yeah. And I think that in the future, you'll come on this show and you'll be telling me about that next. Like, hey, listen, we've signed the deal. We're going to bring this series of the comic to life into an animated series. I mean, that's just the natural progression of where it's going to go. And that brings a whole new dynamic to a community owned project, a true community, not only, you'll have your holders who are fans also profit off the project and be able to grow with you guys, which it's never been done before. This has never been done before.
Let's hope so. I mean, we're pushing hard, and I'd love to chat to you next time and be like, yeah, the animation's on its way. That's the dream.
Well, I think when you guys, the game is launched, the token's live, the airdrops are happening. I noticed that's what gets the Twitter world a buzz, right? Those kind of things are kind of spicy, especially, with the affordability of not just your project, a bunch of other, what I call, blue chip Cardano NFT projects. And what I look at is obviously y'all development, y'all are building out, you're kind of like your roadmap. Y'all have pretty much accomplished everything on it, for your holders. You're rewarding your original community, you're rewarding them, but you're building out, and it's all realistic. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I enjoyed, I think, the most about what you guys are doing.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Appreciate it, man. It's a lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun, and we're finally at the end with our NFT drop. So our major clan drop. So we've, with season 3, and then no more big sort of clan related sales and mints and that kind of thing. So it's super, super exciting.
Yeah, well, again, guys, I've been a holder of this project, since the beginning, and I look at the valuation of it now, and I've said it before on this channel, like, man, this is a really underpriced asset. And, when you look at, projects like, Claymates, Space Buds, a lot of these, what they mint it for, and, Chilled Kongs, and what they're worth now, it's like, wow, we really are so early in this Cardano ecosystem. And, I'm just fortunate enough to be invested in projects like this, because it really is awesome. Like this space really is awesome. I mean, you guys are just really paving the way, not just for your holders, but for the Cardano community, NFT community as a whole. And I truly mean that, Zushawn.
Thanks, mate. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, Zushawn, we're running out of time because I still haven't upgraded to the pro version of Zoom. But is there anything else, any alpha you want to leave us with, my community with? I mean, you dropped a bunch on this episode.
For sure. Well, we've got our third season dropping on the 21st of May, 8 p.m. UTC. For each ninja from season 1 and season 2 that you hold, you get a percentage discount. Nice. So like 5 ninjas equal 5% off, up to 20 ninjas. So you'll get up to 20% off. And then if you hold 15 of either season, we're taking the snapshot on the 20th of May. You receive 1 free season 3 for every 15 of each clan that you hold. And there will be no whitelist. It's a complete public sale. But with the NFT, you'll actually get 4 items in that NFT. You'll get an MP4, you'll get a music stem, you'll get a GIF, and you'll get a PNG file. So you're going to get all of that stuff for your NFT. I think the total collection when we got it ready was about 1 terabyte. So they're all animated, fully animated. They've all got music in them. So, the music's going to play a part in the rarity as well. So check it out, 21 May, 8 p.m. UTC, Dice K clan, my favorite clan, just saying, that's the one I rep as the team rep. But it doesn't have to be anyone else's clan. You can pick your own clan. But come in and join the fun because this time the artists have taken the artwork to another level.
And what would they be minting for?
So starting price is 60 ADA. Yeah.
Zushawn, give my audience some kind of perspective. I mean, this amount of utility, this kind of team for 60 ADA, that's like $30 right now. I mean, Zushawn, is there an Ethereum-based NFT we can buy right now with this type of utility for this price? You couldn't even pay the gas.
Yeah, I don't think so. And if you have, 20 ninjas already, you're paying 48 ADA. So that's like $24 if you've already sort of bought into season 1 and season 2. Yeah, so this is the, final season, and it's not going for much from a dollar perspective, but we believe ADA is ADA. So 1 ADA is 1 ADA. So 60 ADA down to like 48 ADA if you get the discounts.
Well, Zushawn, I will definitely be minting some. I mean, this is like, this is kind of my favorite kind of projects. I mean, bang for buck as an investor, it really is like amazing opportunities, great valuations, and it's projects, I think we'll look back on, and, I think y'all will get to those valuations of, Chill Kongs or Clay Nation. Yeah, it just takes a little time. And as y'all build it out, if you build it, they will come. But, Zushawn, and guys, I'll have all the links to all of this in the description of this video. But Zushawn, man, thank you so much for coming on, man. You really did drop a lot of alpha. Like we needed that on this channel.
Thank you, bro. It's always a pleasure talking to you, man, and always good to be on here. I really appreciate you taking the time out, having a chat with me.
All right, y'all. Well, I'm Classic Kev. This is Zushawn with the ADA Ninjaz. I will have all the links in the description. Y'all have a great night. Peace.